And we're back. I'm Vanessa Lagoa, and you're watching Life Rewritten on Now Media Television. Welcome back to Life Rewritten. I'm your host, Vanessa Lagoa. If you're loving Now Media TV and you don't want to miss an episode of Life Rewritten or any of your favorite shows, be sure to download our free app on at Now Media TV. You can also watch on our website at Now Media TV 24 hours a day. So, welcome back, Noura. Uh, it's been a pleasure getting to know you and talking to you a little bit about your faith and some of the struggles that you've been through. Before we continue on, if our guests are looking to get in touch with you, what is the best way for them to do that?
So they can go to my website, www.nourasbooks.com. Don't forget the S's. It's NOURASBOOKS.com. And they can if they go to contact us, they can book a Zoom meeting with me.
Awesome. So, norasbooks.com. So, could you tell us a little bit about why Nora's Books and a little bit about the books that you have written?
See, I've written books, but it's Noura's books because of bookkeeping.
Okay.
So, so a lot of people think when I first say Noura's books, they think, oh, what type of books? And they think I'm a bookstore or something. But it's actually because of bookkeeping. And bookkeeping is thing that every business owners need. So when I first started my business, I wanted to start a bookkeeping company. So I was searching for name, what should I name it? And then like always my two consultants before I got the coach were my kids. They are now 22 and 23 years old. So they're young adults, but when I started Noura's books, they were in school. So we were talking and then I decided to, okay, let's do Noura's books. And I hired a coach right after that. Like after I registered the business, I'm like, okay, let me hire the coach because I wanted to start online and I didn't know how to bring clients. So when as I was asking my coach a question, I started with, I only want to do bookkeeping, not taxes. And she, before I even continued, she said, why not? And I was like, why not? Okay, let me try. So I started doing taxes. I went for my enrolled agent exam. And for those people who don't know what enrolled agent is, we have three exams we take through the IRS. We go to the exam center and take those three exams, like personal tax law, or individual tax law, business tax law, and representation. We take all these exams and we have to pass them. We have to do continuing education and all of this to be able to represent the client in front of the IRS. Now, you don't have to represent the client in front of the IRS, but you can also do all other things. Um, so in Noura's books, we do right now tax prep, tax analysis, tax planning, CFO services, which comes with bookkeeping sometimes without. So we have few levels of services, but my main focus and my team also, we all focus on one thing. Anything we do, we focus on how to reduce your tax liability as a business owner and as an individual. So if we're doing your bookkeeping, if we're doing your taxes, we want to make sure you pay the minimum amount of taxes that you have to pay without being illegal, legally. Like, so we use tax strategies. We offer a complete service that is focused on tax strategies. So this is our focus, and the business now, like, it's just keep growing. We are more than, I would say, like 6, 7 team members, like between contractors and team employees and myself. And we do work with our clients with care, and we want to make sure like our core value is met with every single client. So yeah, I love working with my team on this. And speaking of the books, the book I wrote, I wrote a book, solo book, and then I wrote a chapter in a book.
Okay.
There's a chapter on tax strategies for business owners, for small businesses, tax strategies for small businesses. I wrote estimated taxes and FBAR. That was in one chapter. That's the chapter. It's very educational for business owners. And there's other 12 tax accounting, tax and accounting professionals who wrote in other chapters in other topics. And then um, the book that I wrote, and it was a best-selling in Amazon back in 2024. It was for nonprofits because I have still have like a soft place for nonprofit. It's called How to Start, Manage, and Prosper with a Nonprofit. They're available on my website. They're available on Amazon, and Amazon is faster than me, obviously. So you can, but it just like helps people. How is nonprofit good for you? If you are a nonprofit, how to make sure you are in compliance. So I want to make sure if you read it, it's gonna open a lot of boxes in your brain to say, hey, oh, okay, have we been doing this? Have we been doing that? So it's really easy to read. I share parts of my story to it in the book and how I got into my nonprofit. So yeah, it's a lot of it was a lot of fun to write it just because like okay, I need a lot of nonprofit cannot afford being consultants, cannot afford to pay for a lot of things. So especially those who do not take it seriously yet, like or not in their mind like they're taking it very serious. But what I mean like not taking seriously, they're not treating it as a business because when it comes to nonprofit and you do not treat it as a business you're not taking it seriously. So I wanted to have an easy access for them so they can get into to that document, to that book, and read through it so they can protect themselves, protect their nonprofit, and be able to hopefully raise a lot more fund than they think they can.
Well, and it's so important, like you said, to be able to you're somebody who is going to respect the law. Somebody's going to know that when they're working with you, you are in compliance with the IRS and you know not loopholes, but you know ways to, get more money for your clients. And why is it so important for you to work in the nonprofit sector?
To work with nonprofit because there's a lot of things only nonprofit can do. There's also a lot of funds, a lot of access to money only nonprofit can get. So having a nonprofit, if you have the heart for it, if you know how to manage it or willing to learn how to, is really important for our society, for locally and globally, because a lot of companies they're required to do social cause, the other stuff, a lot of funding in the government and in other corporation everywhere, like it's required to be given to 501(c)(3), which is the nonprofit exempt status. Also, as a tax as a taxpayer, if you donate to the nonprofit that is registered in the US with a good stand or with an active status that is not revoked because a lot of them get their status revoked, you're going to get tax benefits. You can donate up to 60% of your adjusted gross income, which is a number that on the first page of your taxes, like after some deductions, you can donate up to 60%. And so you as a taxpayer get control of your money. So you donate to a certain cause that you want to support with the people who you want to support. And then nonprofit has a lot of flexibility of doing a lot of things. Yet they have a lot of regulations. So if the people who manage the nonprofit, they are managing it responsibly, they're doing the right thing, you're going to the all we will be globally, we will be better socially, we will be better in many things because nonprofits can do help the government and help the business, so that's they are the mediator. But whoever takes responsibility of those nonprofits or managing any nonprofit, they need to know that they are just as as business as other business owners. It's just like tax designation, if you will to say. It's like there's an S corp, there's an LLC, there is a nonprofit. So that's how I see nonprofits, and that is the nonprofit who can really win and be successful. Because how many nonprofits? There's almost 2 million nonprofits in the US, but very, very few those who are succeeding. So if you want to succeed, if you want to like really win in nonprofit, you want to manage it well, and then everyone is going to be looking for you and they would want to support you.
Right. Why is it so important for you to educate, especially women? Because I know you do that. You spend a lot of your time educating women on how to grow their businesses and how to be secure in their finances. Why is that so important to you?
Because I've been a single mom before. I've seen also a lot of women who stayed through a very bad relationship for financial security. And I just hate to see that. And I hate to see a woman signing their tax returns, even though that was me one day, they don't understand anything of it.
Right.
And you are responsible for doing that.
Right.
Uh, Even if your relationship is really great and you're staying on it, and that's what we hope to see with most people, all people, but it's going to be impossible to see it with everyone. But we want to see many homes like they are great, they're having the great family, great relationships. But we die in this world, right? Like we're not going to stay here forever. So I remember back when I went through my first divorce, there's two of my people I know from Syria. One, she's older woman and she got divorced after like her entire life. And her entire life was just serving the family, taking care of her kids. And now she has nothing because she didn't have work. And another one, her husband, amazing husband, but he just did not wake up, and she had to take care of four kids. She did not have work. She did not have education. So that's why I want really like to see everyone woman can be financially free, independent, because this is the only way she can protect herself, protect her family. If the husband cannot work for a certain time, she can support. She should be one of the, she shouldn't stay in a relationship unless she wants to. She doesn't have to. I don't want to see a woman who
Right.
has to stay in the relationship. You should be able to select to be in the relationship. You want to be in the relationship because you love your husband, because he's great, good to you, you're good to him, not because financially you're going to be screwed like if you're not staying with it. That's why it's very important to me. Like I don't want to see women who making excuses like why she might be in violence or being disrespected just because she needs to be to live somewhere and to have food on a table.
What would you tell the woman who was in a relationship that maybe was maybe not violent or dangerous, but unfulfilling, and she was worried about her finances? How would you guide her with your faith as well as with financial security? What would you tell her?
Sure, I would say first, without before taking any decision about your relationship, because we tend to reflect. So if there's insecurity inside us, maybe we reflected into the relationship. Maybe we are happy with the relationship, but we're not happy with ourselves. So first, do the first step within you, like learn something, start find a job, or even if you cannot go outside of your home to work, there's so many opportunities what you do from home. Like you don't need to do any, you don't need to step a feet outside your home if you can't, but
Right.
find something to do. You generate yourself money, learn something new, and start like putting yourself out online, putting learning stuff, join other women group. And before you take any decision about your relationship, consider seeing um, therapist, couple therapist, even if your spouse do not agree on that, because I know a lot of husbands, they don't like therapy. But if he loves, like, if he doesn't mind it, like, then yeah, both of you go there. If he doesn't want to go, that's fine, start with yourself.
Right.
And often you might find yourself really be able to overcome any burden, but you will also be able to find out, oh, okay, really, maybe this is not the right relationship. So, but don't make it immaturely. Like, take your time with it because you're already in it. So, take your time and start with yourself, and then you can decide.
Right. No, I totally agree. And I think that sometimes it's easier for us to place the blame than it is to, accept that maybe we
Uh-huh.
need the work. Um,
Absolutely.
I know that you clarified that Nora's Books is your bookkeeping service, but that you have written a book and written a chapter in another book. Are there any other books that we can expect from Nora?
Not at the moment. At the moment, like I'm focusing on really building my firm, like to be stronger, to be really um, it can work without me. Then I'm gonna start like, okay, thinking about the books now. And also like I'm doing the TV show, as you know, like I
Yes.
have Echoes of Impact
Yes.
every Tuesday at 5 p.m. So here on Now Media. So it's like taking a lot of my time. So I don't think there's anything coming fast, but you don't know, like because I can decide like this sometimes and like, oh, let me do this. But I don't see it yet. So, but eventually it will happen, but I don't think it's gonna be soon.
Well, it sounds like you have a really powerful story of transformation. I mean,
Mhm.
just coming to the United States alone, I think, is a story. And
Mhm.
then coming and rebuilding and rebranding your personal self and your business. I always say that I think if we have a story to share, we keep it to ourselves. It's
Mhm.
another selfish thing to do. And to share that story, you may inspire another young woman who may be looking to make big change in her life.
Mhm.
Maybe
Absolutely.
that story in you, when the time comes and offers itself up a little bit more freely, maybe that's a story that the world would love to read.
Absolutely. This is one of the things I want to write about, actually, my story. And I do have some drafts, like started writing like points in my life and story bank and stuff. So one day, like I'll be writing, but I believe there's a lot more to my story to come. But
We're
this
always
is something.
rewriting chapters in our story.
Yeah.
So, one of the last questions I would have for you today would be, if your life was a book, what's the next chapter titled?
I love the question. So it'll be rising.
I love that. I love that because it shows that there's so much more life to live, and you're rising. You're on your way, and we've never arrived, right? We're always
Mhm.
going somewhere. And so I really want to thank you for sharing part of your story and your business and your faith with us. I think you are certainly a light in this world that many women, especially, can be guided by. So thank you for
Thank,
taking the time to share with us today.
thank you so much, Vanessa. It was my pleasure being here with you today.
Thank you. Thank you to all of our viewers, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Life Rewritten. Have a great day.